All right, good evening, everybody. This is Greg Sykes from Greg Enterprises. I have Martin Roberts with me. We're actually going to pick up with part two of Linux and the Ubuntu. We're going to actually talk about some of the commands and some of the parameters that you run into. We're actually at the Ubuntu screen for Oracle VM VirtualBox, and we also have the workstation running as well over here. If you can see that. Just going to say yes for that. Let that keep running. We're going to bring this up in the setting. You'll always come up with this screen where you have to put your password in. We already installed it, so now we're just at the point where we're just going to bring it up, go to terminal, and talk about some of the commands in terminal. How you doing, Martin?
I'm good. How are you doing? I'm here today showing you how to set up VMware in Ubuntu.
Right, and you notice how it's loading right now. Everything's successful as far as this is all normal. That's running in the background here. Also, this is running for the VMware. As you can see, this is loading up. So, it will give you some errors during load up. Not to worry. These are normal. Sometimes it's looking for drivers that really it's not going to affect the operating system once this loads up. This is all normal, right, Martin?
Yep, that's perfectly fine.
Right. So let's just see if you have access to my mouse. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I do.
you do have access to the mouse. Great. So this is still loading. I don't know why it's taking so long, but I guess that's normal, right?
Yeah. Okay, there it is.
Okay, so it's loading. It's just loading up. We had a couple of things that we needed to look at. It's doing its normal load. All of these things that's loading here is part of the Linux boot up process, I would think.
Yep.
Okay, and yesterday it was important that we had the VM player. Now, why is the VM player so important in having that particular executable loaded onto the machine, Martin?
Just VMware Player is great for to enable you to virtualize workstations, but it's dependent on what processor you have. Some might be x86 and some might be x64, and you have to have the right install. You have to have the right download from their website in order for it to work.
Right, and I think in our case, what do we choose? We chose a 64 32-bit.
Yeah, we chose a 86 32-bit.
Right, because my processor is a 86 processor.
Yeah.
Right. What is your processor?
Most processors actually support both x86 and x64.
Okay.
Right now I'm running x64 though.
Right. One of the things that you may want to look at that I had problems with earlier was if your virtualization in the BIOS is disabled, you will run into problems. So you have to make sure that that's enabled. Is that correct, Martin?
Yeah, that is. You're going to want to go into your security options and enable virtualization technology. And then also a thing to remember with VMware is the new version only supports 64-bit. So you're going to want to have a 64-bit option also.
Now I noticed in the VMware Tools for Ubuntu, it's asking us to install tools here. We don't have to do that right now. We can do that later, correct?
Yeah, I am not sure exactly which tools it wants, but you should be able to do that later.
So we'll just say remind it later. I think that's what's holding it up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put my password in over here. And we should be on our way in reference to being able to check. We was trying to check the history and trying to go back, but it's
I remember the commands.
You do remember the commands now?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was only able to go back, like, for today. I wasn't able to go back, like, yesterday, for yesterday's history, so...
Okay.
We were trying to figure that out before. Let's see what's going on over here. That's that. what's going on over here. Okay, so we're at this screen here. If you want to run it, Martin, go ahead.
Okay, let's...
So what's the quickest way to get to terminal, Martin? You can either do a Control-Alt-T.
Yeah, can we go ahead and full screen this?
Yes, you can.
Okay, yeah, here we are in the Ubuntu image, and then I usually do Control-Alt-T, which I'm running Ubuntu in the background, so that won't work. But we can go here and then type in terminal right here.
And it should automatically come up. You'll see it. The icon should automatically pop up.
It's still loading.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, and then we'll want to go to this application right here. And then probably the most important command to remember is just sudo su. And then you can add to enter your password here. Okay, and then we're gonna want to install VMware, correct?
Right. I think VMware is already installed, but I'm not sure. But let's just go through the motions here.
Okay. Let's see if VMware is on here. It might be on the other one.
I think it was on the other one. I don't know if we installed it on this one. That's probably what happened.
Okay, we can go through it on this.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll want to open up Firefox.
Did you shut off your mic, or you might as well shut off the mic on Skype?
Okay, here we are, and then we're going to want to go to vmware.com. Michael, close my door! Hurry! One thing to remember, you wouldn't have RAM dedicated to this virtual machine, so it runs a little bit faster.
Right.
If that's an issue, there is lightweight Ubuntu options. I know one of them's like Lubuntu. It just uses less of your resources on your computer.
Okay.
Download software should work. Okay, here we are. We're going to want to scroll all the way to the bottom. Not that far.
Right.
And then we want VMware Player right here. Slide this over. And then go to download products. Something that we mentioned earlier to remember is if it's a 32-bit Linux image, you're going to want to go right here and
change that.
the version.
Yep, to 6.
To 6. The version 6 does support 32-bit. And then we want to click download. Okay, and then we can go ahead and save that. We can make this a little bit bigger, change the screen resolution. To change the screen resolution, you go to System Settings and then you go to Displays. It only lists. We'll go back to Firefox and wait for that download.
Right.
You mentioned Vmware Tools earlier. Installing Vmware Tools will enable us to have a higher resolution on this computer.
Right. And we don't have that installed as of yet.
No, not right. We'll go here and we'll go to Downloads. Okay, it looks like this is download. So we're going to switch over to our terminal right here. I can't get to terminal.
Can you do it? Does the Control-Alt-T work now?
Can you try Control-Alt-T?
We'll try it.
So I'm running Linux, so it'll just pop up on mine.
There we go.
And then you're going to want to sudo and enter your password right here. Your default account will be able to sudo in here. So let's just go ahead and go to our downloads. So, are you kidding me? Shut up, Michael! I can hear you! Okay. And then after our downloads, we'll just look within here. We're going to change the file permissions of this file so that we can run it and install it. We can do ch186. Clear our screen. Control L, clear the screen. And then we want to sudo / capital V and then enter. We're using tab right now, so since it was the only thing in that folder, it knew what I was going to say, so I just hit tab. Okay, this should launch right here.
And these messages unable to locate, those, that's normal messages, right?
Yes, it is, and it should still pop up. Are you sure you still have virtualization technology enabled?
Yes.
because this is the error we got when you didn't have virtualization implemented.
I don't know why it would have popped out. Why would it change from, I haven't changed the BIOS at all.
Yeah. Let's look and make sure this is a 32-bit. We'll go to system settings. Up in the right corner, there's a gear. And then you want to go to maybe about this computer.
Right.
Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, there it is. About this computer. Let's close this.
Did that come up about this computer? Or is it
No, it didn't come up yet.
strange? Unless it's hiding somewhere in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Did it load or it didn't load?
It didn't. Okay, there it is. Okay, yeah, this is a 32-bit.
Alright, so is it the image that's 32-bit or is it the virtualization?
The images.
Alright, so does that have anything to do with the virtualization of the BIOS or no?
No, I don't know why this isn't working, but I know last time we got that exact error, all we had to do was turn on virtualization technology in the BIOS and it worked.
Well, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that when I loaded it in this guess, maybe we loaded it as 32-bit, not 64-bit.
You might want to look at it. Look into it.
Because the other one, let's just go to the other one real quick. This one over here, not this one. I don't know what's going on here. Right here. This was the other one that we had before, right? This is the VM workstation, right? Not.
Yeah.
And you look at this one, and let's just check this one out and see what About Computer says about this one. I mean, it's the same version.
Yeah, that was me. This one hopefully will run faster. I think it has more RAM. Okay, this is also 32-bit.
Okay, so stand to reason that it's not the virtualization if you have 32-bit for both. And this one has VM Player on it.
Yeah, let's look at that. It's okay. Yeah, it does have VMware Player right here.
Right. I'm thinking that maybe what we should do is load. What did we pick for the VM Player for the other one? 64-bit?
The other one was 32-bit.
It was a 32-bit that we picked for the other for Oracle Virtual. VM.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have to figure out why both versions are 32 bits. This one has a VM player which loaded with no problem. The other one came up with that mess.
The other one we did have the exact same problem with, but then after you enabled virtualization technology, it seemed to work.
Well, I mean, we could just as laughs and giggles, we can stop the video, shut it. I can shut the machine down, and I can check to see if virtualization in the BIOS has changed.
Yeah.
You want me to do that?
Just give me a second. Let me check this out.
Okay.
This file we want right here, we want the exact same thing over in the other one.
Right.
Where is it at right here? Where's the other one at?
The other one was, you have this here.
Yeah, it is right there.
Right.
Let's open terminal and do the same thing over here. We might just want to work from the other one.
Yeah, we could do that, at least until we can get this situation. This way we won't have to interrupt the machine.
But the other one does already have VMware, so we can't show how to install it. Alright, so VMware i386.bundle. This is the exact same thing right here.
It says Ubuntu Linux. The one that you're looking for, the one that we have, is this one here. This is the workstation 10. This is the one that's working.
Okay. We can try to remove VMware and then install it again. Do you want to do that?
Not yet, because I don't want to. You know, if it wasn't broke, then we shouldn't try to break it. If it is the virtualization issue, because it's not going to make a difference. So what I want to do is I want to check the history. Number one, I want to go back to the VM workstation and see if we can at least see the history for some of this stuff, because most of the stuff that we did for the last 2 days has been in the history, and I couldn't seem to bring that up. So you said that you was able to look at that. You have to be in root. And let me put the password in.
Yeah, the story to dash A wasn't working for me. Let's see if there's something in here we can look at. That way, save our commands. Actually, another thing you can do. Let's get out of this. We can go to the root, and then we could just locate command and see if there's anything named command, which obviously there is. And this will tell us all the directories and files with the name command in it.
Okay.
Right now we're looking for our previous commands, so it might be right here, command.lst.
Okay, so how would you get in there? Do you have to do a VI to get in?
Sure, we could try that. Boot, I don't think that's it if it's in boot. Let's keep looking. This is probably just a list of commands you can use. We don't care about the commands of the Python directory. It's all Python. If you want to research this real fast. Okay, that didn't work the way I looked it up. But any specific commands you're looking for?
Well, I mean, I just wanted to go back in the history. I know you did a lot of stuff, but obviously, don't worry about it. It's not really that important because we can replicate some of the stuff. Most of the stuff I was looking at was specifically the problems we ran into with VMware initially. We had gone through a couple of commands.
Yeah, and I mostly remember the command. Here, let's try something. And var logs. APT. That's not what we're looking for. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
Well, you know what we're going to do? I mean, obviously, you went as much as you could to try to find, and obviously, it's good that you're going through this because it gives the person an idea on how to kind of maneuver some stuff in Linux, at least some of the commands. Especially the more commands, the nano, I mean, obviously, I mean, you're not telling us what you're doing with these commands, specifically the nano command and the, if you wanted to look at a file.
Oh yeah, sorry, let's do that. So if we want to view a file like syslog you see on the screen, if I want to view it in the terminal, I'm going to use a command like nano. And then I look at all the S's and I see, sy, and then nothing else starts with sy besides syslog, so I can tab and it'll take me to syslog, and then I just want to open the first one, so I'll do nano syslog.
Now, is nano the same as vi, or is that another editor?
I've never used vi, but we can look at what it is.
Okay,
use the man command to look at what something is. You see up here, it tells you that it's a text editor, and nano's also a text editor.
Okay.
You see down here it says Q to quit, so we're just gonna hit Q, and it'll get us out of that man page.
Oh.
Or you see, we went into var log, and we wanted to see what's in it, so we would do ls. Or you might have seen me earlier looking in like syslog if I want to look for a specific like a specific name of something, like I would nano syslog, and then I would type it, so it's gonna look at the results of that command, and then grep is to search a file, and I want to search for the word, let's do shutdown. And it's going to search the syslog for the word shutdown. It must be a big file.
I would think.
Yeah. And then that will output all the places shutdown are found in syslog.
Oh, okay. That's a very useful command.
Yeah, it is. Especially if you're looking just for a specific word and you don't want to read a lot of stuff.
Right.
We can get out of that, but earlier what I was doing, let's go back to the root. I was looking for the logs, so I would just locate log, and it'll tell me where log is found in the system. This is just a bunch of output on the screen, you can't really read all that, so we're going to cancel that, and then we'll do locate, what we're looking for log, and then we'll pipe it to less, so it will output it in an easier format to read. and then we can just hit enter to scroll down, and it'll tell us wherever a log is found on the computer.
Very useful.
Very useful. And then I'm sure you've seen us use the cd command a lot.
Yep.
It's helpful for going to a specific directory like Etsy. And then you notice we're just tabbing, so we would type cd and then tab. Or to get out of Etsy, we would cd dot dot. It's kind of like Windows where you do cd dot dot, but in Linux you do cd space dot dot.
Right. And remember you had said something about the !v command, which basically was when we was doing the installation for the VMware. Is that the only time you'd be using that command?
No. If you want to generally install something from the command line, using the GUI, you would use a command like gsudo or sudo, and then you would launch that installer. I like to keep the screen clear, so I just type clear. Or like I said earlier, Control-L will work. And we've mentioned a lot, you have to be root to do a lot of this stuff. But you have to be careful because Linux will let you do anything is root. They won't say permission is denied. So you want to make sure you know what you're doing.
Exactly. It's not like you can you set up permissions for Linux?
You can, but not with root. Root has unlimited access to anything, and they won't get permission is denied. So if you're messing up your computer, Linux won't tell you. They assume that you know what you're doing.
Alrighty. Well, you know what? This has been exciting, and I thank you so much. What I'm going to do now is I'm really curious to see whether that virtualization is set, because we really can't really do much until the virtualization, because that would kind of defeating the purpose.
Yeah, that kind of ruined our plans.
It ruined the plans a little bit, but no, this is good. I mean, this is a series of things that we're doing, and I really appreciate your time.
Also, your website has a list of commands. People might want to go check that out.
Most definitely. I would do in our next series. I will go through all the commands, and me being a network engineer, we're doing a lot of commands with config. Sorry.
Yes.
For either Ethernet cards. Normally it's IP config for
Windows.
For Windows, but with Linux it's if config. And you can check your Ethernet cards to make sure that they're right. We do that a lot in testing out the systems to make sure that we have the right mask, the subnet mask. I had a problem today where for some reason they did an update or they did some change here on the system and it changed the IP address, and it was supposed to be like 10.50.1.50 and it was 10.50.1.0. And that changed everything. They wasn't able to ping. They thought it was the cabling and everything. And I said to them, interesting. Let's have you guys check the IP addresses. And he did a really funny command today. I don't have it off the top of my head. I actually sent it to myself in my notes. But there's so much to learn with Linux, and it's really exciting. And Martin, I really thank you for taking the time to give us some hints and tips on this.
Yep. It's really fun to learn. It's different than Windows, but it's fun to use.
It's definitely fun to use. Well, we're going to sign off right now. Thank you so much, group.
Martin, good seeing you today.
Yes, and we'll get back to you, hopefully. What's your schedule tomorrow?
I can't think of it. Oh, I do volunteer on Tuesdays.
Oh, great.
From like 4 to 8.
Oh, at night or no?
Yeah, I volunteer from like 4 to 8.
All right, well, so you should be free like during the day?
Yeah, I'm at school. But, yeah.
All right, not a problem. Well, I'm at work, so...
I'll get with you, I guess tonight, and we can talk about like our plans for tomorrow.
That sounds great. Well, listen, you have a good night, Martin. And
we'll see you next episode, everyone.
We will. Thank you so much.
Hey, have a good night.
You too. Thanks.